So, welcome to Broom Talk, the podcast where witches, healers, mystics, magic makers gather to share their journeys, their tools, and their truths. I'm your host, Priestess, Mellisa of Enchanted Dragonfly, inviting you to take a seat in the Broom Circle because the real magic is in the stories we tell. So let's stir the cauldron and speak the spell. So I have a lovely guest with me today. She's also my neighbor.
Yeah.
So tell us your name and your business name.
So my name is Cassie Clover. I run Enjoy Being Holistic Massage right here in Whitensville. And yeah, I don't know. I just love it. I just opened in October, so it's a very new venture for me, but
exciting.
I love
exciting.
it. Yeah.
She's literally like next door, upstairs. So
yeah, it's nice.
It's awesome.
It's nice. I love that we connected.
Yes, me too. So tell us more about what you do.
So, massage came to me a little later in life, but it's always been in my life, if that makes sense. So I wasn't unfamiliar with holistic healing and what bodywork can do. So I kind of took to it really quickly because of being exposed around, to it. I would say that I specialize in deep tissue, but I called myself a holistic space because I didn't want to be confined to, I just do sports massage I just do therapeutic massage. And plus I feel that I work really intuitively and I connect a lot with people, that it just opens a broader door being holistic, because I really do try to listen to the person with their words, but also what their body's telling me. So I like to think that makes me a bit unique and stand out, and I'd love to say my wonderful client book speaks to that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, and you do a little bit of yoga too. Do you teach classes or help lead through the classes?
Yeah,
nice.
So I just recently got certified. Well, recently actually, it's been a year now. But I started teaching in November once a week across the street from here. A place called Driven, and that's been a wonderful adventure too. It's nice to stay grounded, and I do really enjoy learning, and I feel like between massage and yoga you could continue learning forever in both of those aspects. So yeah, it's really special.
Nice.
Yeah,
awesome. So we already covered where you're located. So it's is it 101 Church Street?
It's 101 Church Street.
Yeah. Okay, so it's literally if you're facing Enchanted Dragonfly, there she's on the right, and there's some stairs. You can see her logo on the door, and she's right upstairs. So how did you start doing what you do?
So I've worked for what seems like forever. My family had a restaurant, so I kind of grew up in the restaurant business, working with people, serving people. I think getting really awesome interpersonal skills growing up in that field too. Also a really strong work ethic.
Yeah.
I always was keeping a roof over my head and kind of chasing money, and that was sort of my drive forever, because I feel like I came from this idea that my family lacked money, so therefore I lacked money right out the gate. So in my head I'm like, well then I have to work 2 or 3 jobs and just really kill myself, and I just thought that was insane. And I'm sure many people experience this when COVID hit. Of course this is many years after I started my working career, but there was a huge shift, and at the time I was working in power plants, working 3rd shift, rotating schedules. I was all alone. My shifts were wicked long. If the next guy didn't show up to relieve you, because it's a 24-hour job, now I'm there for 24 hours. It was just soul sucking. Made great money, but I kind of one day turned to my husband. He was a couple years out of the fire academy, so he was kind of set in his career and happy with what he was doing, and we had a little bit of financial freedom, if you will. And I just said, do you care if I kind of go back to school? I need to pursue something more fulfilling. I knew I wanted to work with people, and I didn't speak too much about it, but I actually have 4 or 5 massage therapists in my family, so
nice.
It was in my blood, so I knew it was going to happen. But I did a bunch of research one winter when I was just super miserable, and I decided to go back to school. It was full-time, 9 months, and it was just the best decision ever.
Nice.
Because I could immediately start reaping, I think, more of my benefits for my soul, because yes, I'm not like making as much money as I used to, but I'm happy every day. I know I'm making a difference for people. I get to see and meet awesome people all the time, where I was alone forever in the boiler room. So it was like a huge shift, and I think a lot of people went through one during that time. So it's sort of divine timing, I guess, or whatever.
The money's coming. I think it's important to build that strong foundation first, and then the money just comes on top of it. I'd rather have it build up gradually and strongly instead of up and then crash and burn.
Oh, for sure. And not to mention, like, even since I opened, I said I just opened in October, so it's not even been a year, but I have had no like downtime. I just like, I have this mantra that I tell myself that has helped me through, where I'm just like, I'll always come into money. I'll always, like, money will freely flow to me, kind of a thing. And I sort of say that to myself. So even if I get bummed out because a client had to cancel or reschedule or whatever it is, there's always somebody else that just comes out of the blue and they're like, hey, can I book? And I'm like, why am I even stressing?
Yes, be
why
open.
am I even stressing?
As long as you be open, it'll just come right to you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What type of practitioner would you say you are?
Ooh, good question. I mean, I'd love to, I don't know if I'm going to be too broad with it, but I mean, I'd like to say that, you know, even though I'm a body worker and I would consider myself, you know, a practitioner of physical health, but it's a complete energy exchange. Whether people think of it as just, you know, feeling relaxed and good afterwards, but it is, because I know some days if I'm not really protecting myself, I might take that load on and I feel it. I'm drained, or I come home in a funky mood. It doesn't happen often. It's only if I'm not paying attention and I'm not on my guard to not take from the client. Because yes, we're moving the muscles, but we're moving the energy too, because a lot of times, like, our body is holding on to trauma or stuck energy, and, you know, I don't do it for you. I might be the facilitator, but it's really the client that's gonna go through whatever that healing and whatever that motion is to let go of it, if they're even ready. Some people come in with the same damn shoulder issue, and it's like, well, why? Think back. Like, when did you start feeling it? Were you under a ton of stress? Did somebody pass in your family that you're close with? Like, did you lose a job? Did you, you know, have housing struggles or something? So I always just, like, you know, if the clients are open, I kind of like will pick their brain and then start to understand it more, and maybe with them even talking about it, then their body starts to let it go and actually release that trauma. So I'd love to, like, say that I'm also an energy worker in that sense too. So
it's nice that you do that with the clients, because sometimes they don't even know. And then by having that conversation going, they're like, oh yeah, they'll have an aha moment for that. So
it's great.
What is your spiritual origin story or an awakening moment?
Ooh. So I currently feel like I'm going through a huge awakening and transformation, and not to get a little like down, but my mother was like my number one, my best friend, my everything, and unfortunately I lost her a couple years ago, and I feel like that was during massage school.
Oh, wow.
She got sick. I think she had been sick for a while, just wasn't honest. And then I'm going through school, and it was just like, oh my gosh, it was like one thing after another. I'm like, holy crap. And then she passed shortly after I graduated, and I didn't even think I could continue working. Like, I just thought my whole life was gonna end. But I mean, that was just kind of probably the grief talking, because then I realized that, you know, yes, my mother's not here, but it like made my brain work differently. Like, I'm standing more in my power. I try to think of the advice that she would give me when I run into issues, and I think that's what propelled me to open my business. I'm like, this is insane. Like, why wouldn't I just do this? I know my mom would root for me, so like, just get after it. So I've made some really huge decisions since then, but then also I'm starting to really try to discover myself more and see, like, where is this massage therapy taking me? Where is this energy work taking me? Because again, I feel like I'm constantly learning and exploring, and that'll probably hopefully be till the day I die. But you know, I'm always questioning what more is gonna like open for me, because I think hands are really powerful. You know, I think they do move a lot of energy, and I've actually felt that way my whole life. I always admired hands, and I thought I know now I can feel a lot through my hands. So if I like touch somebody else's hands, it's almost like I start to get a lot of information. And sometimes I question it, and that's what I'm exploring now, like to not question myself so much. So I'll put my hands on a client, and if they're open and not realizing it, I don't try to invade, like don't want to get that twisted, but sometimes I get information, and sometimes it's really uncomfortable or like upsetting almost, and I'm like, ooh, am I making this story or am I really like reading this person?
Reading this person.
So I'm like wondering from here, where am I going from here? Like I think I'll probably always do massage, but I'm really excited with the idea of exploring more from here. So
interesting. Nice. Yes, always learn, always keep going forward. What is your daily spiritual or magical practice?
My daily spiritual or magical practice, I think it would probably have to be like maybe my little mantras. I think again, I'm trying to like figure out my place with all this, because I know you asked about like maybe my spiritual like beliefs. That actually goes in with my mom too, because her and I was brought up in a very holistic home, which I loved. But we would, you know, my mom would read books about Pleiadians and like light beings and other dimensions, and I firmly believe in vibration and in dimension, and I feel I believe that there is like one spirit, and we're part of all of that. So like I'm sitting with myself, like I try to see myself in everybody, because everybody's just mirroring stuff back to us. So that I would believe is like where my head is at and where my spiritual belief is at. So even just the going back to like losing my mom, but I know she's here because she's a part of me, I'm a part of her, we're a part of everything, and I find a lot of beauty in that, a lot of comfort in that. And even when I'm dealing with like say like a difficult client or a difficult person, I just like sit back and I'm like, wait a second, like obviously maybe there's something going on with me that this person's making me aware of. So
sometimes like those little triggers, right? Sometimes,
I know. And then you gotta check yourself, so it's okay.
And sometimes it's brought up to the surface because it's time for you to address it or whatever, right?
And then for daily stuff, I mean, definitely my mantras. Sometimes I do some visualization in the morning, some breath, like pranayama, like yoga breath I like to do. But nothing too crazy right now.
No, it's so one step at a time, and it can be, it's just as powerful as a mountain size. Smaller things, right? It really is. Who or what inspires your path the most?
My path? That's a really good question. What inspires my path? I might have to say, I mean, I would say myself, and also I think my mom, because I really do like bring her into every like decision. I don't know. I felt like super connected to her, so I just feel like between that and just believing in myself, because I realized once I started getting rid of all the negative thoughts, I started opening doors. In my 20s, I was a really angry, really like just high strung, like just getting messed up all the time, just really kind of lost and swirling around. And I realized once I like started gaining self-esteem, it's like everything was clicking. Like I found like the most perfect husband for myself in my late 20s, because that's when I finally just like broke the chains of just being in this negative mindset. And you know, I don't have perfect days every day, and everybody doesn't, but still I just realized that I need to believe in myself more, and that's allowing for the growth and the creation and everything to happen. So I think that is probably it.
Good. It's important. What is the biggest challenge you faced on your journey, and how did you overcome it?
My biggest challenge on my journey? So I feel like I'm gonna be a broken record. I feel like
No,
losing
you're
my
good.
mom was like,
Yeah, no,
huge-
that's okay.
It was like such a monumentous moment in my
Yeah.
life. Like I'm 37 now, so I hopefully have a lot of life left to live.
Yes.
But that was probably monumentous for right now. I didn't know how I was gonna get through it, but I'm sorry. Could you repart that question?
No,
again
of
for me?
course. The last part was how did you overcome it?
Oh, overcome it. I think I meditated a lot. I actually, it was months later, a woman, a psychic medium was recommended to me from my aunt, and I had a Zoom call with her. She's out in California, very sweet human. And it's not that I don't believe in them, because I do, but I just know like a lot of them can be so generic, so it's really hard. So I was glad that I was recommended, and she, I think she gave me closure. That's like something that I really needed to come to overcome it, because I didn't understand it. And because I just pictured her being in my life like till the forever. I don't know. But yeah, I got closure, and
Good.
she just kind of, I think from there it allowed me to just be like, okay, like I'm still gonna deal with it, but I feel better, and I was able to overcome it.
Good.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, and don't worry about sounding like a broken record. If it keeps going to that, that's like a huge part of your life, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So what tools, methods, or spirit guides guides your work?
Okay. So I feel like I get a lot of messages as just like matter of fact in my head. Sometimes I just like know things, and I don't want to sound like cocky or weird, but I literally will just get answers in my head. Sometimes I have visual things, because I work a lot with my eyes closed. Sometimes I'll see scenes and stuff, so I'd say like whatever that is, I think comes to me, because I'll even, again, going back, like touching somebody, working on somebody, it's almost like I get the answer as to like why that's there.
That's
And
interesting.
why they're not letting it go.
There is a term for that. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah.
But it's some people refer to it as like a download, either
Yeah.
from the universe, or if it's channeling through you, the fact that you can pick up that stuff just through touch. It's called something. It escapes me right now.
Yeah.
But it's a rare gift to, like, not many people can touch somebody else and get that kind of information touching. Like, that's a beyond being empathic. It's really fascinating.
I find it, and that's why I want to keep exploring it, like with people that trust me and I trust them, so they're allowing themselves to be open to get that. So definitely want to head in that direction, and even just like those weird, like just knowing things. Like I'll have people ask me questions, and just something in me is like, no, this is the right answer. Just say it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where did that come from?
It's like it's a form of like psychic ability, but there's a term for it for that specific way of how it happens. It's fascinating though. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I love it. How do you stay energetically protected and grounded?
Ooh, so on a really good day, so while I was in massage school, I took their holistic program. So I took a class for Polarity 1. I think there's 4 or 5 levels of polarity, but I did the basic, the opening polarity. I don't necessarily practice it now, but they had a really wonderful way of protecting yourself and really like envisioning your aura and your chakras. So I'll do that a lot. I give myself some time, and I just go from my closest aura all the way out. I just picture every level and picturing them perfect, and then picturing my outer, like not super open, not super closed, but like a good shell, and I just like envision it being really strong. And then sometimes I even have to like exhaust, if you will, during a session. Like I will let out a sigh because whatever they're holding on to, they're not letting it out. So then I start to.
Yeah.
But I think it's good because I'm letting it go, and then they have like we would do like a visualization of like pulling out the sticky energy and like tossing it in like an etheric fire. So I kind of do that a little bit too to protect myself if I start feeling it, because I'll do a check on my aura again, like in between, or my chakras, and like, ooh, do I see any dark spots? Like, do I need to get rid of that? So that's my go-to, I think.
That's cool. Nice. Good to hear. What's one common misconception about your craft or your work?
Oh, very, very obvious, maybe. So I know it's like a common term, but a lot of people say masseuse, and us as practitioners, we're trying to get away from that because it has like a bad rap around like backdoor massage parlors. So
If
like,
the red light's on.
right. And like it was awful because when I like
Yeah.
my dad, he's old school, he's 78, and like when he heard I was going to massage school, he's like, "What the hell are you doing that for?" And I'm like, "Dad, like it's a professional job. Like what do you mean?"
I'm
So
not masseuse.
oh my gosh. And yeah, seriously. And then so like even some of my like guy clients that know they can joke around. I mean, I was a bartender for years, so like whatever. I've heard it all, but they'll be like, "Oh, do you have anybody asking you for a little happy ending?" And I'm like, "Shut up. Like, no, stop." But yeah, terrible, horrible misconception, but you hear it all the time. But I think we as practitioners were really trying to just steer the conversation somewhere else and just get away from it. But
So is it called, referred to more as massage therapist instead of, okay.
instead of masseuse or masseur. But I mean, some people still go by that. But we
Yeah.
try to, I think, the whole like therapy part, we're trying to really make it more professional sounding because it's had such a terrible stigma.
I mean, if
over
you
the
literally
years.
look it up in the dictionary, it says massage therapist, but you know, people switch it around.
Yes, yeah. I don't get offended by it, but I mean, if you're asking, you know, if you're calling me and you're like, "Hey," no, sorry, I'm gonna hang up on you, block your number, like.
Yes, you're at the wrong spot.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Can you share a powerful or memorable client transformation?
Oh, yeah. So this is actually when I was still in school, but I think because I was doing so much like specific energy work while I was there, I was trading with a student. This is like one of my favorite stories because I just was so happy that it like I could see it in real time. Her name was Cassie as well, which was awesome.
That's funny.
But I'm working on her, and you know, we're chatting and chilling, and my polarity teacher was telling us, because we were starting to do like the psychic visualizations with people, I was practicing doing it a lot, and so I'm working on her, and she was like, "Don't be afraid to say anything that you see, blah blah blah." So I'm done with the session, and I'm like, I got this vision, like it's kind of weird, like I don't really know. And she's like, "Yeah, shoot." And I said, "I just saw a bunch of blue sperm. That's all I kept seeing when I was touching you." And she was like, "Okay, that's weird because my husband and I aren't planning to have kids for a long time." I'm like, "Okay, well, I just wanted to say it." She's like, "Well, I like the color blue." And I was like, "Okay, that's cool." Well, she ended up graduating before me because she was in a class that started earlier. But I saw her a few months later, and she was pregnant with a boy. She was pregnant and didn't know, with a boy.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I was like,
That's
that is
so
super
cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
And even still, I work with a lot of prenatals, and I always speak to the baby, like in utero. And like now when I see, like if I get the chance to see the kids afterwards, they always just stare at me.
Yeah, because they're like,
I feel like they
remember you
recognize it.
talking? Yes, they really probably do.
So,
and just like, I've been heard from you. I've heard you before somewhere.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
so cool.
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, thank
love
you.
it. What sacred self-care practices keep you aligned?
Yoga. Big time with yoga, I would say. And I think checking myself a lot with that visualization of like picturing my aura and my chakras and just keeping them clear and free and spinning and happy. I would say probably that.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
I think I
important.
need to do more, I'll be honest. I'm still like going back to like the start of our conversation. I'm like still in this transition period that I'm trying to figure a lot of stuff out, and sometimes it's happening really quick. So
yeah, sometimes it just comes in like faster than you can process it. Yeah, but that's good. It means you're on the right track, and you know, take your time picking it up and you know, writing it down or something as it comes in. You can revisit it later or whatever.
Yeah.
What does success look like to you as a spiritual business owner?
Ooh. Success as a spiritual business owner. You know, I think success for us or for me, I should speak personally because everybody's different. To like, if you're running your own business, I think to have the clientele you want, to build it, you know, the fact that your energy is aligned enough that you are attracting the people that you're wanting there, I think is probably my first, because you're gonna be busy enough that then you're financially successful, so then you're not stressing about that anymore, and you're gonna look forward to seeing that clientele all the time because it's energetically aligned with you. You're not getting somebody that makes you feel stressed out or uptight like while you're doing your job or whatnot. I know it's like really personal one-on-one when you do massage, but you know, even when I teach yoga, I do have more students in class, and I was like nervous vibrating out of my brain when I started teaching, but now it's like I get to see the same 4 or 5 people. It's a nice small class, but I love it. And you know, now I'm looking at these faces and I'm like, these are my people. Like, we're all resonating together, obviously, because they're the same ones that keep showing up. Like, this is super cool. They respect me, I respect them, and like same with my, you know, massage clients. So I think between those 2 things, that feels really successful. And also, I think continuing to grow it within yourself and just learning more, or maybe even like sharpening your skills or whatever it is. I think it's super like that screams success to me. So
So I hope much success for you.
Thank you. Same for you.
Do you follow the moon, astrology, or seasonal cycles in your work?
So that's something I want to explore big time. I've, you know, been into just the normal sun sign astrology that, you know, that's been fed to me my whole life growing up. I'd always be flipping through the paper, where's the astrology section? But now as I've gotten older, I realize it's a huge thing you could study forever. So I do want to tap into that a little bit more. With my yoga specifically, yes, because I just so happen to teach on like either every equinox or every solstice, so that's been super special that I get to really tap into that and kind of build a practice that's going to honor that, and of course speak to the students and to myself what I can visualize and focus on for that season that's upon us. So I'd say probably that. But as far as massage, I don't know. Again, I think I'm still trying to figure out, like, because I would love to do something a little bit more that, like, whether it be the essential oils that I'm using at the time is complementing the season, or if there's like a modality in massage that I could incorporate that might be more suited to the time.
Full moon massage or a yoga session, release it, bring it in or something. Yeah, absolutely. I can see that for you.
Thank you.
And if you want to know more about your astrology, I can run your chart for you. Yes,
I would love that.
Yes.
That'd be so cool.
What's something you wish more people knew about your energy work?
So I feel like what you would wait. I guess I'm not understanding. What do I wish people would understand more?
Yeah. What do you wish more people knew about what you do?
Oh, okay. I think the fact that it's an energy exchange. I think most of my clients are there because I do deep tissue and they come in with an injury or long lasting, but I kind of wish that they knew it was more energy work. Because I feel like I'm getting these messages from people, I almost like want to shake them and be like, do you understand this is why this is stuck? Like, please let it go. And sometimes I just talk to them in my head. I'm like, let it go. It's okay. Like, you don't have to be upset anymore. Like, it's fine, because that's like usually what I feel. I'm like, it's okay. So I kind of wish that maybe people would know that Bodywork, I think in any form, whether it be chiropractic or massage or acupuncture, it's energy.
Yeah.
We're just vibrating molecules. Like, we're energy.
Literally. Like right now this is an energy exchange. It's literally like that is a literal description.
It is. So yeah, if you want to look at it like that, it's true.
We're vibrating molecules. It's awesome. If you could give one piece of advice to someone just starting their path, what would it be?
Ooh. Trust.
Nice.
Like, I feel like listen to your gut. If something doesn't feel right, listen to it.
Yeah.
But if something feels good, even though it's scary, do it.
Yeah.
Like, I know that can be a little fine line there, but yeah, trust yourself.
Yeah.
Trust yourself.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's important. It really is. Yeah. What magic are you currently brewing without giving too much away? Because sometimes we have to leave the news. The new releases on the down low. But if there's any teasers you want to give to potential clients or clients.
Well, I mean, I have a handful of workshops that I am taking one at the end of the year for massage. And there is another one that I took. It was just before my mom passed, so I actually didn't practice it. But I have all like my workbooks, and I do have a lot of memory of the class. So I want to just practice that more, so I can offer a couple new modalities, and they're both a little more energy centered than like just brute massage.
Nice.
So very excited.
Yes,
but
very
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Awesome. The last few are just fun questions.
Cool.
So, if you know it, what is your sun, moon, and rising sign?
Oh, okay. My sun sign is Taurus. I have a Leo. Oh gosh, I might have this confused now. I think I'm a Leo rising and a Taurus moon.
Nice. Interesting. Yeah.
Or maybe I'm a Leo moon and a Taurus rising. That might be what it is.
We'll find out when you're
Yeah, I know. See, I want to learn more.
We'll get it. Yes. Do you have a favorite crystal, herb, or tool that you always work with?
Oh, yeah. Tool, my hands. Crystal. So I actually have I don't know, amethyst I'm always drawn to.
Nice.
So I don't necessarily work with it, but my business, I do have like crystals around and in my house too, but I do have a lot of amethyst.
Nice.
What was the other one you said? Crystal, tool, or
herb.
or herb. Okay,
Yeah.
well, I burn a ton of incense, so like there's that. And I do use essential oils on my towels, like depending on what like of course I get to know my clients, so like I know that they might be a usually stressed person, then I'm adding some Roman chamomile or lavender, and then bergamot stuff in the summer. I'm trying to think what else. I mean, you've given me some lovely stuff to burn too. I can't remember the name of that.
Yerba Santa.
Yeah, oh my gosh, it smells so good.
Yeah.
Love the Yerba Santa. That's fantastic. So
That's a good herb.
and sage. I'm definitely a big sager.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
I would say that's it. Yeah.
Nice. What is your magical nickname that you resonate with the most?
I don't quite know. My middle name is Star, so I've always kind of gone by
Nice.
Cassie Star. Like when I would do, I went to art school for a short stint, but I love creating, and I would always just write C Star was like my little
that's
nickname.
cute.
So
Nice.
yeah.
I like that. Tea or tincture?
Tea or tincture? Like would I choose one or what I'm using?
One or, yeah.
Oh,
What would you choose?
shoot. I love both.
Right.
I'd have to say tea because I enjoy sipping a warm liquid for a long time.
Tarot cards or runes?
Oh, unfortunately, I don't know enough about runes, so I'd have to say tarot.
A cauldron or candle?
Oh,
I like both of those.
I know. Candle.
Candle. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. If your spirit guide had a voice, what would it sound like?
Oh. I feel like I only ever hear them in my own voice.
Right. Okay. Nice.
So, yeah.
Nice.
But sometimes I hear more masculine.
Mhm.
I would think.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Nice. Could be an ancestor or something.
Yeah, that's true.
And do you have any pets?
Yeah, very unintentional. I love animals. I grew up with cats and chickens, but my stepsister had to rehome her two like older cats. They're 12 and 13, I believe. So we're still in the get to know you phase. I've had him for a couple months now. It's been, we've all had our trials and tribulations, but I do love them. Oh my God. They're Garfield and Jack.
I love the
And
names.
they're big boys. The smaller one's 15 pounds.
Wow, that's the smaller guy.
Yes. But
Oh
yeah,
my
they're
God.
good boys. I love having them, and
Aw.
hope to have plenty more animals through my lifetime. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, that concludes my questions.
Yeah.
Was there anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah.
Let people know.
I mean, even if you don't come see me, I think if you're a human and you have a body, you should definitely get massage work or some kind of body work. Again, we could be doing all the cleansing practices for ourselves, but sometimes you just need maybe a little more facilitation. So I highly, highly suggest having some kind of regular body work in your self-care regimen. Even
Nice
yoga.
advice. Yeah. Nice advice. Good,
Yeah.
good. Awesome. Well, that concludes this episode of Broom Talk. Come by and visit us at 101 Church Street and 99 Church Street, both in Whitensville. And I'm going to put her Instagram page in the description with this video, so go give her a like and follow, and she's got some great stuff up there. That concludes it.
Thank you.
Take care, guys. Bless be.